Okay, hello. We're going to start with a new poem called Cetacean. It is in your booklet, so if you haven't got it, pause this, download the booklet and open it on page, I think it's 14, but I'm not sure, and have the poem next to you with a pen or something to write on it, okay? Now I'm going to show you the poem. Wait a second. This is it. Okay. Here you have the poem, and I have annotated it so that you can copy some of the things, yes? At the same time, I have a PowerPoint with some images that I'm going to show you to make it clearer for you to understand some things, okay? So first, the poem was written by Peter Reading, who was a British poet. He was also a painter, and he liked very much to observe birds and nature. This Cetacean is a poem, is a descriptive poem, yes, in which we're going to see how they have an experience of watching whales while they are sailing in a vessel. Now I'm going to show you what kind of whales and what is a vessel and the size of the vessel. But most of all, it's a descriptive poem in which he describes an experience he had, okay? I'm going to show you, wait a sec. I have to share something else with you. This is it, compartir. Okay, oh, listen, wait me, so that we can start, okay. Peter Reading is the poet, he's English, and usually he writes poems which criticize society in general, yes? In this case, Cetacean is like the exception to the rule of his writing. He was usually inspired by social issues, yes, such as violence, homeless people, and he expressed anger in his poems sometimes, criticizing these things. But this poem, Cetacean, as I told you, doesn't mention any of these issues, yes, and he's mostly describing the elegance of this dance that the whales perform in front of them, okay? As it says here, then I'm not going to read all that is written here, but you can stop the video and read it if you find it useful, or write down notes on your booklet. This is a different poem that he has written, okay? It is set in Fisherman's Wharf, which is a place in San Francisco, yes. I'm going to go back to the poem itself before going on with this. It's here. So let's see if I can. The poem starts like this. Out of Fisherman's Wharf, San Francisco, Sunday, early. Our vessel bowed to stern some 63 feet to observe blue whales, and we did, off the Farallones. So here in the first stanza, we have the setting already, the time and the place. Where out of Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco? When? Sunday, early, okay? On their vessel, he was with other people, yes, and this vessel is a very big one. 63 feet is approximately 19 meters, okay? And they did this, they went, he says, to observe we blue whales, and we did, yes? What did they do? They did observe the whales, okay? And this way of saying it suggests some kind of pride and satisfaction on what they have achieved, the possibility of watching these whales. It is the only verb in the whole stanza, if you read it again, out of Fisherman's Wharf, San Francisco, Sunday early, our vessel bow to stern. This means from the back to the front of the vessel. Its size is 19 meters approximately, okay? I'm going to try and go back to the pictures to show you. You see, this is the blue whale, okay? And let's go, sorry, why? I made something wrong, sorry. This here. The size of the vessel is comparable to the size of the blue whale, okay? That is why he mentions it, because this animal is so big. Whales, as you know, are mammals. Yes, they breathe through their lungs, even though they live mostly underwater, but they have to go outside of the water to breathe. Yes, and that is when they blow water from the top of their heads. But okay, let's go on. The blue whale is the biggest animal on Earth, and it is almost bigger than the vessel itself. Yes, let's go back to the poem. Okay, they were swimming slowly and rose at a shallow angle. They were gray as slate with white mottling dorsals, tiny and stubby, with broad, flat heads, 1/4 their overall body lengths. So here we have some things. First, swimming slowly. Yes, this is an alliteration, as you know, the beginning of many words, or at least 2 words with the same consonant. Yes, this creates a kind of musicality in the poem. It gives it rhythm. Then between brackets, he puts, they were gray as slate. Here we have a simile. Yes, as, a simile, you know, remember, is a comparison using as or like. Yes, in this case, he uses as. Gray as slate. Slate is the color, yes, a deep gray. In Spanish, slate is pizarra, yes? You know those floors made of slate, which are a deep shade of gray. This is the color of the whales. And white mottling, yes, mottling is, he's describing the patches, the white patches that whales have, okay? Now we're going to go back to the picture of the whale and you will realize. Dorsals, I'm going to show you now what the dorsals are, and that their heads are 1/4 of the whole length of their body. Yes, so here he is describing the color and the shape and the size of the whales. Remember, here we have alliteration and simile, okay? At a shallow angle, he's describing the way in which they are rising from the ocean. Yes, let's see if I can show you that. Sorry, I'm doing this so slowly, but I'm not an expert in this. Okay, so you see, this is the gray, the dark gray color, and these white patches here. And then these are the Farallons, you see. Remember in the first stanza, he says, we did off the Farallons. These are these islands, okay? The blue whale, dark with white mottling. The tiny, you see that at the top, at the back, there is a very, very little dorsal, yes, the fin, this dorsal fin. And they are flat and chubby. This is the description of the physical appearance of the whale. Let's go back to the poem itself. Now, they blew As soon as their heads began to break the surface, the blows were as straight and slim as upright columns, rising to 30 feet in vertical sprays. Many things here. Again, alliteration. They blew as soon as their heads began to break the surface. The blows were as straight and slim as upright columns. The repetition of the letter B. Another simile, the blows were as straight and slim as upright columns. And here I'm going to show you the image, yes? This is, I don't know if you can see the pointer here, but they blow water, yes, from the little hole they have on their backs. And this spray of water is upright and thin like a column, okay? You see the comparison here with a column. So vertical sprays, which were 3 feet tall, because they blew that water with a lot of strength, yes? So they were very tall and thin, yes, as it says here. Straight and slim as upright columns, rising to 30 feet in vertical sprays. Okay, he's describing the movement of the whales coming out of the ocean, showing their backs, their heads, and this blowing water through their backs, through this hole in the back. And apparently they are all swimming, a group of whales swimming together, yes, all together in unison, like in a synchronized, elegant dance, yes. Then their heads disappear underwater, and the lengthy rolling expanse of their backs hove into our view, about 20 feet longer than the vessel herself. So, vessel is the ship in which they are sailing, yes, and these whales are longer even than the vessel. I showed you before the picture of the vessel, and you saw it was a big, very, very big one. This whale is even longer than the vessel, yes? And so he's describing all the movement that the whales do. Coming out of the water, blowing these spraying columns, and then disappearing again underwater, yes, describing the movements that they do, and showing their backs with effort, yes, moving with effort out of the water into their view. And then the diminutive dorsals showed briefly after the blows had disappeared and the heads had gone under. Again, all the elegant movements in spite of their enormous size, yes? Diminutive dorsals, again alliteration, briefly, the blows, again alliteration, yes? Describing all the movements that they do. Then they arched their backs, then arched their tails, stalks ready for diving. I'm going to show you the movement in these images. Oh my God, here. This is the diminutive dorsal, yes? It's very small for the size compared with the size of the whale. And here is how they arch their backs, yes? When they go out of the water and arch their backs to dive into the ocean again. And so then they arch their backs, then arch their tail stalks ready for diving. Then the flukes were visible just before the creatures vanished, slipping into the deep again at a shallow angle. Here in the last slide, you see how this is the fluke. The tail of the whale is what we call the fluke, yes, and how it disappears little by little as they dive into the water until you cannot see them anymore. Now, so he's describing these elegant movements, these dance that the whales are performing in front of them. And he describes it as a magical moment. Yes, they disappear, they come out, they blow this water, they arch their backs, and then they disappear again under the water. It's been a small moment, but rather magical. Yes, they vanish together in order, they dance together, and they vanish together in order. Yes, synchronized. Some things to mention, as I said, the repetition and the simile and the alliteration, give musicality to the poem, a rhythm. Yes, the comparisons with the similes to describe the movements, the size of the whales. Some other things, for example, here the repetition of the word then also, not only the alliteration, but the repetition of the word then, as I marked here, then their heads, then the diminutive dorsals, then they arch their backs, then are their tail stalks, then the flukes. So this is a way of trying to make this moment last longer. Yes, then, like enumerating the things that they see, trying to make this moment longer, to remain so as to be able to enjoy it for a longer time. Yes, because now we're going to go to the themes of the poem. What is this poem talking about? One of the themes could be the perfection of beauty and of nature, the perfection and beauty of nature, yes? And another theme would be to be able to enjoy the moments that we have in contact with nature, yes? Another possibility could be that we have to try and lengthen our joyful experiences, yes, to make them as long as possible. That means to enjoy every moment really as if it were unique, because those moments are really unique, yes? And this is related to the concept of mindfulness. I don't know if you are aware of what mindfulness means, but it is a movement in which people try to be present in the moment and enjoying every moment instead of being distracted with other things, yes, which is so common nowadays. And in this particular moment that we are living now, we could probably make a better use of this concept of mindfulness, trying to focus in what we are living and enjoying ourselves with the things that we have, yes? So the figures of speech that he used here are the imagery, yes, all the visual and kinesthetic images that he includes, yes? A visual image is the one that can make you picture what he is in your head, what he is describing, yes? All the descriptions that he uses of the whales. The kinesthetic image is that describes you the movement that they make. Yes, for example, they arch their backs, they are arched their tail stalks. Those are kinesthetic images. Simile, alliteration, repetition, those are all figures of speech. And the layout of the poem itself is also, in this case, something that the author does on purpose, because it gives us some more visual information in this case. If you can see, the stanzas are longer and they become shorter. First of all, each stanza is one sentence. There is no other punctuation. There are commas, but there are no more than one sentence per stanza. And the first three are longer, then they start becoming shorter. Probably this is a way of trying to make a parallelism with how they see the whales, the part of the whale that they see out of the water, yes? First, they see a bigger part of the whale out of the water, and then as the whale starts to deepen inside and to disappear into the water, what they can see is a little bit less than before. Yes, so as you can see, each stanza, the first stanzas are longer and they start to become shorter as the poem advances. So this is, in some cases, as you know, the layout is also one of the resources that the poet uses to transmit what they want to show us, to convey their feelings or their ideas or their issues, to make us feel and understand better what they are trying to tell us. Okay, so to sum up, here you can use this video to pause it and write on. You should print this page of the booklet, and you can write these down, or you can take down notes while I speak, but you know that you can pause the video and take your time. Here you have also some of the definitions of the words that you might find difficult. And well, that would be all. I think that, of course, you can ask me any questions via mail if you need, and I'm going to leave you an activity to complete, some questions that you will have to answer and load on the campus. Okay, wait. Probably we could have a Zoom session where you could ask questions. If we can agree on a certain day and time of the day, we can meet through this Zoom, which is very useful for us to debate, and you can ask questions at that time. Okay, see you. Thank you.